Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael. Welcome to the Gas and Gavel video channel. Today, we are going to take a look at this 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. This 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 is finished in a Draken Red 2 metallic with a black leather interior with red cross stitch. If you guys have been enjoying my car review videos here on the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel, I would truly appreciate it if you can subscribe to the channel. A little background: since I started this Gas and Gavel YouTube channel last year, I've been completely self-funded, but I would really love to change that in the near future. And the best way for it to help me bring more cool, innovative, in-depth, and absolutely free car content to the audience is to subscribe to my channel and increase my subscription base. So I truly do appreciate your support. Please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment or question below. I love hearing from my audience, and I love replying to my audience. So thank you again, and we'll continue this review of the 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12. The Bentley Bentayga is built upon Volkswagen's MLB platform. This platform is shared with its brothers and sister models such as the Audi Q7, the Porsche Cayenne, the Audi Q8, and the Lamborghini Urus. This Bentley Bentayga is powered by a 6.0 liter W12 twin turbocharged motor. This twin turbocharged V12/W12 motor pushes out 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque. All that power is sent to all four wheels via Bentley's all-wheel drive system via an 8-speed automatic ZF transmission. The W12 Bentley Bentayga tows up to 7,500 pounds using that twin turbo W12. And this car does already come with an integrated rear tow hook. So the car is ready to tow whatever it is up to 7,500 pounds. This 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition had an original MSRP of $235,000. The 2018 Bentley Bentayga came in 5 trims: the Onyx Edition, Activity Edition, the Signature Edition, which is what we see in front of us, a Black Edition, and a Millionaire Edition. The Bentley Bentayga was introduced first in late 2015 and is Bentley's first foray into luxury SUV crossover segment. The Bentley Bentayga is offered in a 4, 5, or 7 row seating with a 3rd row integrated into the rear. The Bentley Bentayga is named the Bentayga, is based upon a highland rock that is located in the Canary Islands. It must have been a pretty impressive rock for Bentley to name their first crossover SUV. But again, this Bentley is essentially named after a very large rock on the Canary Islands. The name also draws inspiration from the taiga, which is the largest transcontinental snow forest, composed of the first 4 layers of Bentley and an altered spelling of taiga. Hence you get the Bentley Bentayga. So essentially the Bentley Bentayga is named after a huge rock. In the Canary Islands, and also named after a I guess a type of land, which is the taiga land, combined together. So it's a very nature-like name for the Bentley Bentayga. And if you guys are a fan of Magic the Gathering cards, I guess a little sidetrack, I guess the taiga lands is very similar to back then when you were playing Magic cards and you had all these different lands like forest and desert and so forth. And sometimes you get a special card that had a combined land, such as like a taiga or rainforest. So again, definitely very cool, definitely very interesting. And it's a nice departure from naming cars after animals or racetracks. The exterior and the interior and the motor of the Bentley Bentayga is completely hand-built in the United Kingdom. It takes over 1,800 hours of man-made labor to put together a single Bentley SUV. The Bentley Bentayga was introduced in 2015. What you see in front of us is a 2018 model. And then in 2020, there was a mid-cycle update of the Bentayga. And this generation currently runs to the present in 2025. Let's take a look at the motor of your 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12. And here it is. Here is your 6.0 liter W12 12-cylinder twin turbo Bentley motor. This W12 twin turbo Bentley motor pushes out 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque. All that power is routed to all four wheels via Bentley's all-wheel drive system via an 8-speed automatic ZF transmission. This twin turbo W12 motor does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat and does a standing quarter mile at 12 seconds even. This twin turbo motor gets combined 15 city and highway. This W12 motor gets 12 miles per gallon city and 19 miles per gallon highway with a combined 15 miles per gallon combined city highway. Let's take a look at this motor from an enthusiast perspective. First off, beautiful setup. I love the valve cover with the 6 cylinders on each side clearly designated to let you know where the W12, where each cylinder is located. You have a Bentley logo embedded into the center of the valve engine cover. Underneath that, you do have another plate with the 6.0 liter twin turbo V12 clearly marked in this insignia. As a reminder, the W12 motor is completely hand built by Bentley. I love how everything is covered with a nice clean plastic shroud. I do believe that there should be one more plastic piece covering up all this wiring, but it may be missing. But again, I love the setup and just the cleanly look of the W12 motor. Somewhere down there, mounted to each of these 6 cylinders of this W12 motor, is a twin scroll turbocharger. You have 2 of them. And one really cool thing I want to note is right in front where this 6.0 liter emblem is actually, it looks like a ram air intake that essentially sucks in air from this huge Bentley grill. It looks like the oil cooler and intercooler are right behind here. Again, sending that cool air just through these 2 intake channels right into that W12 motor, helping it produce that 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque in this twin turbo W12. The hood, very easy to open. It has this soft clutch cloth material, kind of interesting underneath the hood. Even the Bentley's hood has a touch of luxury inside. Never really seen a cloth insert into the hood before. And of course you have a hood props, so the hood stays open easily without any effort. Very beautiful motor, and very rare nowadays to find any sort of V12 or W12 motor, let alone a twin turbo W12 motor underneath the hood of an SUV. And this is the motor of your 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Twin Turbo Signature Edition. Let's take a look at the key that you get when you purchase your 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. And here it is. A beautiful Bentley key. Definitely heavy weight to it. You can feel the luxury in this remote. In the back of your Bentley remote, you have this huge Bentley logo embedded into the rear of the key. Definitely very nice, very shiny in this bright sun. You have that Bentley B in the center with a silver Bentley trim on the outside. There's a piano black finish on the rest of the key with these silver painted sides with this very subtle kind of like this vented finish on the sides that definitely match that Bentley grille in the front. Very, very nice. You have that matching piano back black finish in the front and multiple use buttons such as the lock and unlock buttons. You have a power trunk button, a panic button. Overall, excellent job on the key. This key definitely matches the luxury of the Bentley Bentayga. Bentley did a really great job. Again, great heft, great weight. And this is the key that you get when you do purchase your Bentley Bentayga W12 with the matching bees. Let's begin the exterior tour of this 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition, and we'll start with the front end. The front headlights of the Bentley Bentayga, when they're off, you can see all the subtle details of the high beams and low beams. So starting off with a turn signal light, the turn signal light is a full LED with a body colored painted center. I think that's very unique. You can have this like bug-eyed look in the front. So that's your LED turn signal. And this is what the headlights look like when they're turned on. You have an LED ring right underneath here with LED high beams and low beams, and the LED lights on the side light. Each high beam and low beam and turn signal housing is shrouded in this silver trim. Very, very nice, very luxurious touch. The inside of the headlight is also painted a nice silver trim with a dark black housing. You do have the Bentley insignia embedded on the inside of your headlight. And again, the high beams and low beams are both LED headlights. And you have a series of LED running lights or daytime running lights running below the headlights. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them in that headlight. Very, very nice, very luxurious, very unique looking. Same setup on the passenger side. Again, LED turn signal with that body colored painted center. You have nice chrome trim around the outside and LED high beams and low beams with again that Bentley logo and the LED daytime running lights down the center. Definitely very rich looking and very bright. Great design of these quad oval shape high beams and low beams and turn signals. Underneath your high beams and low beams, you do have a functional side duct intake that I'm sure sucks in air to help cool down those 6-piston Bentley brakes. There is a blank unit here for, I believe, an optional fog light setup. This car does not have it, so essentially you kind of get a blank here. But again, it does look functional. I do see a grille that you can essentially channel air through. So again, a nice functional side grille. Transitioning under that, the Bentley front bumper features a lower intake grille that definitely cools some sort of radiator on the inside. You have a nice aggressive design in the front, and I really like this very subtle front silver painted front trim or under spoiler in the front. That's definitely functional. Very, very nice, and it's painted in opposing. silver finish against that dragon red paint. To match this lower black painted grille is the huge rectangular functional Bentley front grille. That is the most prominent piece of this Bentayga's front end. It is definitely functional. You have two types of radiator and definitely intercooler and oil cooler set up on the inside. And there is, from the engine review, some sort of rammer setup that again channels air from this huge Bentley grille that is not only fashionable but also functional. That helps send nice cool air to that W12 twin turbo motor. And on top of that grille is your quintessential Bentley emblem with the Bentley wings on the sides. Just as prominent as that front Bentley silver grille. You do have a front mounted camera with bumper sensors and windshield wiper controls to clean out those LED headlights. Very aggressive and very clean Bentley front end. The front bumper also features an integrated amber side marker. The fenders feature a body colored fender lining and a chrome fender streak that is non-functional, but it definitely adds a bit of fashion to those front fenders. And it's finished in a nice silver trim, similar to the front grille and headlights. Running along the doors, you do have a silver chrome side molding, helping to break up that dragon red paint. Very, very nice. The door handles also feature that contrasting chrome trim with red door handles in the front and the rear. The side mirrors feature a smoked colored integrated amber turn signal. There are integrated side view cameras integrated into the side view mirrors. These side view mirrors are heated and they are also powered, so they close right up in tighter parking spaces, and then they open right up when you open up your car. The 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 comes with various wheel and tire packages, from a 19-inch setup to a 20-inch setup. This one has the optional 21-inch Bentley 6-spoke wheel and tire package. And this 21-inch wheel is the largest wheel that Bentley has offered from the factory. Let's take a closer look at that 21-inch wheel and tire package. These 21-inch 6-spoke wheels are forged wheels with 6 spokes in a silver finish trim. In the center, you do have the Bentley B logo with the Bentley trim, Bentley motors silver trim on the outside. These huge 21-inch wheels. The tires measure a 285/45 21-inch tire. Behind these 21-inch wheels, you do have these huge 6-piston Bentley big brake calipers with the Bentley logo etched into the inside of that caliper. Very nice. There are 15.5-inch rotors in the front. And of course, behind all this, you do have that variable dampening air suspension with, again, those powered anti-sway and anti-roll bars. They look great. The 21-inch wheels definitely fill out these huge SUV wheel wells. Let's scroll onto the rear. The rear, you also have a matching 21-inch wheel. The rears are a slightly wider 285/45 21-inch tire with the 6 spokes completely forged. The only difference between the rear and the front is the rear is slightly wider rim, and you only get a single piston gray painted brake caliper in the rear, stopping a smaller 15-inch rotor. But the design looks great, and again, this is one of your 21-inch optional wheel and tire package in your 2018 Bentley Bentayga. The roof features a very simple, clean finish with a single body line running down the center and a set of V body lines running the length of the hood, giving it a very muscular domed appearance in front. No need for any crazy vents here. But again, there is this rigid V finish to the hood, giving a hint to what hides beneath this V-shaped hood is something very, very powerful, which is, again, that twin-turbo W12 with 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque. The Bentley Bentayga W12 comes equipped with these silver painted roof racks installed from the factory. And besides this roof rack, you get a standard, huge standard panoramic roof that goes all the way from the front passenger seat all the way to the rear passenger seat. This is a panoramic roof that also opens up the front part. This is a sunroof, and it opens up all the way to the rear. And this is what the sunroof looks like when it's opened. Essentially, the front sunroof piece slides all the way to the back of that panoramic roof. And in front, there is an electronically deployed windscreen to cut down on the wind noise. Definitely a cool option, and I love how Bentley just gives it to you as standard. Again, this panoramic roof with integrated mechanical sunroof is a standard option in the 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. Lets in a lot of bright light, lots of fresh air. Into that cabin of your Bentley Bentayga. Very, very nice. And finishing off the roof of the Bentayga is this shark fin antenna, painted body color, that dragon metallic 2 red paint. The Bentley Bentayga is a 4-door SUV. I love how the window is trimmed in that silver window trim. And my two favorite parts of the front and rear windows of the Bentayga is definitely this front quarter glass. You'll see later in the driving video, this front glass not only allows light in, but also better forward visibility for the driver and passenger. And also this rear quarter glass in the rear definitely provides a lot of light and allows great rearward visibility for the driver. My favorite part. And my second favorite part. Lots of light and lots of visibility. Looks great, feels great, and increases safety for the driver. The front and rear doors feature a electronic soft close function, so you can open up the door and just close it gently and the door will seal itself up. Let's try that again. You can just put it gently and the car will close itself up with a soft touch finish, so no need to slam the door of your Bentayga. One of my favorite features of the body line of the Bentayga is definitely this rear quarter panel, where you have essentially this kind of like flat fender line that runs all the way across the back, giving it kind of almost a wide body appearance. It's definitely very sharp, and if you look at all the Bentley models, this is one of the quintessential design languages of each rear quarter panel of the Bentley, from the GT to the Flying Spur. And again, just provides a more aggressive rear quarter panel profile, providing almost like a wide body like finish in the rear. Now let's take a look at the rear of your 2018 Bentley Bentayga. The 2018 Bentley Bentayga features the squared WLED taillights. The LED taillights are two different squared pieces with a U-shaped LED light on the inside and a chrome trim surrounding the headlights. In 2020, there was a mid-cycle update for the Bentley Bentayga that replaced these squared rectangular lights with circular oval tail lights. The rear heated glass features a single windshield wiper. Up top, you have an almost integrated rear spoiler built into the trunk. Very, very nice. I love the clean look of that. The top is painted that red metallic with a flat black finish on the inside. And that rear top spoiler features an integrated LED third brake light. Very nice finish to the top of that roof. The rear hatch also features this integrated to me, it looks like an integrated rear trunk spoiler that runs the entire body line, provides a little definition. Definitely clean, muscular look. And underneath that, you have the classic Bentley logo and a nice chrome trim. The license plate area is highlighted with this chrome trim around the license plate area and hatch. The lower bumper features that chrome trim running the length of the bottom of the bumper. And then underneath that all is this black painted rear diffuser that hides one of my favorite looks of the rear end of this Bentayga, and it's definitely this oval tip. And when I say oval tip, these ovals are huge. Oval tip quad exhaust integrated into that rear black painted diffuser. You can see what I mean by oval tip quad exhaust. This exhaust is variable, meaning that depending on driving mode or depending on your RPM and speed, the exhaust gets quieter and louder depending on which mode you're in. The tips are these oval silver painted exhaust finishers, but if you look on the inside, it's essentially a quad tip exhaust on the inside. 1, 2. Very nice. It looks great. And we're gonna go ahead and play a clip of this variable exhaust of your Bentley Bentayga. The rear end, for your convenience, also offers a factory installed tail hitch, so you can tow your RV, your boat, your trailer, wherever it may be. And that piece is again installed straight from the factory. And lastly, hidden underneath or above this tow hook is an integrated rear reverse light right in the center. Very, very nice. This rear reverse light in the center allowed Bentley to have just a clean rear tail light setup with an all red housing in the rear of the Bentayga. Your gas cap is located on your passenger side, and hidden behind your passenger side door cap, if you open it up, part of the mule in our package, you do get a very cool jeweled bespoke billet Bentley gas cap. Again, part of the millionaire package, you do get a fancy jeweled billet gas cap with the Bentley logo on it. Very, very nice. A great little addition to your Bentley Bentayga. Let's begin the interior tour of your Bentley Bentayga W12, starting with the driver's side door panel. And here it is. The interior of this Bentley Bentayga is finished with a black leather interior with red cross stitch. This car does come with the milliner package, which does feature this diamond cross stitch on various interior components. Everything is wrapped in a black soft touch leather with this really cool red cross stitch running throughout the door panel, matching again that dragon red metallic exterior. And the door panel is finished in this very nice dark brown real wood grain insert. All Bentley door interiors are hand built. Within the armrest houses your soft touch windows up and down buttons, as well as opening and closing the rear privacy screens. You have your side mirror controls, you have a lock and unlock, and you have a very sturdy silver trimmed, chrome trimmed door handle. Underneath all this, you do have a deep storage compartment and your power trunk button and 2 memory seat seatings for your seats. The door handle to open and close the door is definitely very heavy duty with a nice chrome trim and leather trim with that red stitching. This car does feature the upgraded NAM by Bentley stereo system with multiple speakers, as you can see here, integrated into the door panel. This nice silver trim all around it. Very nice, very rich. The side door sill does feature a Bentley silver trim. And again, part of that milliner package is this cross stitch Bentley doormat with matching silver trimmed accelerator pedal and brake. And to the left of that, you do have your hood access. And scrolling back up, here are your driver and passenger side seat of your Bentley Bentayga W12 with the milliner package. Part of that package again comes with this diamond cross stitch and embroidered Bentley logos that are embroidered right into the seat. Very soft touch black leather, again with that cross stitch, and then the sides have that red trim running up throughout the sides of the headrest and the seats, matching that red metallic dragon paint. The seats are all multi-way adjustable powered seats. The switches are definitely very, very heavy and strong, except maybe for this one. Kind of fell out, but again, multi-way adjustable, and the seats, both driver and passenger, are heated and ventilated. The rear seats of your Bentley Bentayga are also heated and ventilated for the comfort of rear seat passengers. And let's hop on in and see what it's like to sit in the cockpit of your 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition with the milliner interior package. And here we are. The front passenger and driver's side seat also feature a massage function. By clicking this button here on the seat, it brings up your massage options on your multimedia screen. So there's different type of massages. You can adjust the massaging seats according to strength, and there's different patterns of massage from wave, pulse, or you can focus on a specific area such as your lumbar area or your shoulder area. Again, definitely very, very comfortable seats. Again, the front and rear seats of your Bentley Bentayga are heated, they are ventilated, they are 16-way adjustable, and they also have integrated massage seats in the driver and passenger side. Your steering wheel features this tri-spoke, leather-wrapped steering wheel with matching red contrast stitching running throughout the steering wheel to match that dragon red metallic paint on the exterior. The steering wheel definitely feels rich, wealthy, and definitely very, very supple and soft. It is heated using this button here. The center of the steering wheel features this Bentley logo with center horn, and you have a contrasting flat black finish at the bottom of the steering wheel with a nice silver trim. You do have voice control buttons on the right hand side, as well as controls to cycle through the screens in your instrument cluster. And all these electronic controls are trimmed in this nice silver trim on the outside. The steering wheel does electronically tilt forward and backwards and up and down electronically via a switch located here at the bottom of the steering wheel. That's also kind of trimmed in this nice silver trim button. Very, very nice. And finishing off this entire steering wheel is these silver paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel, allowing you to shift your 8-speed auto manual ZF transmission in your Bentayga. Behind these paddle shifters, you do have your turn signal stock and your windshield wiper stock, and underneath it all, you do have your cruise control stock underneath all that. The 2018 Bentley Bentayga features these analog instrument cluster with a small digital screen in the center, and your instrument cluster is wrapped in that very rich looking dark wood grain finish all the way around, and a nice silver trim on the top. To the left you have your engine RPM meter, and to the right you have your RPM gauge with the gas meter. We'll go ahead and start the car to show you what it looks like when the screen has started up. So the center features a small media screen that you can essentially cycle through with different options. For example, there is terrain information. You can put your navigation in the center, your current speed, just many different options in that instrument cluster. Very, very nice. To the left of your steering wheel, you do have your headlight controls for your high beams and low beams, and also control to control the brightness of your instrument cluster and dash. The center console features an 8-inch multimedia touchscreen with a combination of analog as well as touchscreen buttons. This 8-inch touchscreen is shrouded in that brown wood grain veneer finish with a silver trim. The multimedia screen features an integrated navigation system, and an integrated AM/FM radio with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capable. There's a nice clean reverse screen that also features multi-camera angles. There is your side mirror cameras, there is a rear bumper camera, there is a front facing camera, and a top down facing camera. So again, multiple camera choices in your multimedia screen in your Bentley. And while we're on the topic of the Bentley Bentayga center dash clock, there is a wonky, I don't want to call it wonky, but crazy factory option to replace this regular analog clock. So there's an option that you can change this analog clock to a Breitling Tourbillon self-winding clock. And this Breitling self-winding clock costs a range between $100,000 to $160,000 just for this center clock. I know Tourbillons are pretty expensive, but it's a pretty crazy option. And if you are essentially made of money or have a lot to burn, Bentley will give you a clock that costs almost as much as your Bentley itself. Above your 8-inch multimedia screen, you do have, in classic Bentley fashion, your AC and heat outlets, which are housed in this really cool airplane-like circular diamond finish, very sturdy feeling AC and heat outlets. They're housed in a nice silver trim with a black housing. And you do have these cool push and pull vents to close and open up your vents. In the center, you have an analog Bentley branded clock that also features that diamond trim around the outside. And all that is housed in, again, that silver, that nice dark wood grain finish. The top of the driver's side and passenger side dash is leather wrapped with that black Bentley leather with that red cross stitch running across the dash, top of the dash. Very, very nice. Your passenger side features this nice huge dark wood veneer insert. And the under dash is also wrapped in that black extended leather. The passenger side has a pretty large storage compartment that is lockable, and you can definitely put a lot of things in here. And one cool thing about the interior of this storage compartment, not only is it storable and lockable as such, there's also a button inside of there to allow cool air into the storage compartment to keep your items cool in your lockable front glove compartment. Directly underneath your multimedia system, you do have your analog climate control buttons. So you can adjust the climate control either via the touchscreen or via these buttons below. The Bentley's front seats feature both heated and ventilated seats. And underneath your climate controls, you have kind of a small rubberized storage compartment with a tough rubber finish that feels like anti-slide. So you can probably slide your phone in there. And housed within your center console is your beautiful, very, very shiny, especially in the sunlight, 8-speed auto manual ZF transmission. The shift knob for your 8-speed ZF auto manual transmission is definitely very rich. You have that black leather trim around it, chrome trim surrounding the rest of that. You have your Bentley logo around a diamond finish. Very nice. In order to operate the Bentley in order to operate your 8-speed ZF Bentley transmission, in order to go in reverse, you merely press down the B button and you push forward and it'll put you into reverse. If you want to put it into neutral, you tap it down once. And then if you want to go into drive, you tap it down once. And if you want to go into an auto manual mode where you're able to shift manually, you just tap it down one more time and it'll go into manual mode. And if you want to switch back to automatic mode, you just tap down again on that also. And if you want to park your car, all you have to do is press this P button here and your car will be put into park. Very functional and nice looking transmission in your 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. And located right next to your Bentley shift knob is your emergency brake light, your electronic parking brake, park distance control button, and you also have 2 deep cup holders for drivers and passenger. Over here you do have hill assist, and you can also turn off your traction control. And to here, with what looks like a low riding Bentley, is your options to raise and lower the height of your Bentley using the variable, adaptable air suspension. And one of my favorite buttons or sections of this entire area is definitely right here in the center console, where you have your all-important engine start stop button, but surrounding that is all my favorite driving modes of the Bentley Bentayga. So the Bentley Bentayga W12 comes with 4 main driving modes, as you see on the left. There is Sport, which is essentially the most aggressive setup of the Bentley Bentayga. When you press the Sport button here, the suspension tightens up, the steering tightens up, the gear ratio or the shifting of the transmission just becomes much more aggressive, and the variable exhaust in the rear just gets very, very loud because the baffles open completely. If you're feeling lazy or you want a much more quieter ride, you can press Comfort, and that probably does the reverse of what the Sport mode does. The Bentley B button is essentially normal Bentley driving mode, which is essentially the regular setting for the Bentley. And of course there's a custom mode for your Bentley Bentayga, and when you press the custom mode here, you can essentially adjust everything from the steering to the suspension to the aggressiveness of the exhaust and the aggressiveness of the shifting to your custom standard. So when you go over to the custom drive setting, if you take a look at the screen, you can essentially adjust individually the engine gearbox, the steering, and the ride and handling. And for each individual area of setting, you can change it from Sport to Bentley to Comfort. So again, you can set each setting in a custom drive setting. So for example, if you want a very aggressive steering, you can change that to Sport. But let's say that you're driving along and you want a Comfort, softer suspension, you can go do that, but you still want to drive hard, you can change it into Sport for the engine. So again, it's configurable, and that's the custom drive setting. So again, on the left hand side, you have 4 primary drive modes in your Bentley Bentayga. This particular example of the Bentley Bentayga that we are test driving today comes equipped with the all-terrain package, and the all-terrain package comes with essentially 4 off-road driving modes. So in total, you have essentially about 8 different driving modes, and the 4 all-terrain off-road driving modes are listed on the right hand side. And I'll go over each and every single one as I turn the knob. So this one, self-explanatory, this is the snow and grass setting. You also have a dirt and gravel setting. And on the screen here, you can see that the right side image matches the exact analog mode on the circular knob for your driving modes. And then your third all-terrain mode is mud and trail. And lastly is sand. So again, you can take your Bentley Bentayga off-roading using these 4 different drive modes. Very, very nice, and that is a factory option. So if you do decide to take it off-road, that's probably one of the options to check off on the box in your 2018 Bentley Bentayga. And located underneath that, you do have this kind of rubberized storage area. Usually I kind of just lay the Bentley key there. It has like kind of this rubberized finish that prevents it from sliding. Your leather wrapped armrest, nice and comfortable, but it also doubles up as an additional storage unit with your charging station. You get 2 USB charging outlets, a 12-volt charging outlet, and an audio auxiliary inlet. It's nicely trimmed in a soft fabric material with a rubber finish at the bottom. Your rear windshield, rear view mirror, is rimless, very, very clean. Up top is your standard leather wrapped headliner. The window visors with vanity mirror are also leather wrapped for both driver and passenger, with a vanity mirror and light for convenience. And in the center here, you have a few of my my favorite controls on your headliner of your Bentley Bentayga. You do have interior dome lighting for driver and passenger as such. You do have your ability to save your garage settings in this home link button that's integrated up here. And most importantly, what's hidden behind this entire thing here is your controls for your panoramic roof with sunroof that opens. So there is a integrated electronic sunshade that you can open using this first button here, and we'll do as such. This panoramic roof comes standard in the Bentley Bentayga, and it's just a beautiful option to allow just all this natural sunlight into the car. And unlike other cars with a panoramic roof, you saw that this car does come with an integrated electronic sunshade, so you have the option of closing that up on really hot days. But again, it just really brightens up the interior of your Bentayga for both your front and rear seat passengers. And then if you want additional light or air, this button here opens up your sunroof that is integrated into that panoramic roof. And it actually opens almost all the way to the back. Very, very nice. Lots and lots of natural light now into the interior of your Bentayga. And there is a electronic windscreen that deploys when you do open up your sunroof. And then when it gets too bright, like right now, you can go ahead and close it up, all one touch. And if it's still too bright, you can close the entire sunshade with a click of a button. And the sunshade does block majority of light, but it's not completely solid. You do get a little bit of light that goes under, but again, compared to other cars that do not have a sunshade on their panoramic roof, this car definitely gets the job done. So again, great feature and a standard option on the 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. All right, let's see what life is like for your rear seat passengers of your Bentley Bentayga W12. Your rear seat passengers door panel, they get treated to the same setup as the front. This car does have the Mulliner interior trim with the diamond cross stitch in the center. This has the black interior with the red cross stitch matching that dragon red exterior. Rear passengers have a nice chrome window switch, a nice heavy chrome door handle, and their own lock and unlock button. They're treated to a nice sturdy door handle that's leather wrapped with that red cross stitch, and the door panel features that dark wood trim, or wood grain trim in the rear. Rear passengers are treated to NAMM by Bentley speakers, and they also get their own side door sill with the Bentley name in a silver trim. And here are the rear seats of your Bentley Bentayga with the millionaire package. The millionaire package gives you this Bentley stitch logo in the rear seats with a diamond cross stitch, black Napa leather finish, and a diamond cross stitch. And then you also have that red cross stitch running along the side to match that red paint in the exterior. This car features a 3-person setup in the rear, although the rear seats in the Bentayga can be optioned also with a 2-seat setup and also a essentially 5-seat setup in the rear with a 3rd row seat in the back. Let's take a look at what it feels like in the back. And here I am in the rear seats of your Bentley Bentayga. So first thing I want to note that the rear passenger side, the rear windows do feature either a clear window as such, but there's also an optional powered, essentially privacy screen that can go up and down. I've only raised the passenger side rear for contrast. So again, that's very cool. Nice luxury option in the rear. The seats are Bentley comfortable. I have the front seat essentially set at a standard position, and I still have a good amount of leg room in the front. The rear seats are very, very comfortable, very, very soft, supple, black leather interior. Rear seat passengers, if you're not driving someone in the center, are treated to a nice sturdy armrest that is leather wrapped, and it has 2 cup holders for the rear seat passengers. The rear seat passengers are treated to their own climate controls that are wrapped in that dark brown wood grain finish, and they're able to adjust that via their own screen in the rear. Another unique feature about the back seats, so underneath the back seats, underneath your climate controls, there is a small digital screen that you can essentially change the climate and so forth for the rear seat passengers. A very interesting thing about this entire screen is that you can actually remove it essentially completely from your car, and essentially your passengers can hold it in their hands like a little phone and adjust wherever they need to adjust wirelessly, and then they can put it right back, and by pressing this button here, it locks it right back. It locks it right back in. As you can see, it locks right back in and sits flush in the rear. It's a pretty unique option for your rear seat passengers. Very, very cool option in this Bentley Bentayga. The rear seats feature additional storage compartments on left and right, and underneath the climate control there is 2 12-volt charging ports for your rear seat passengers to charge electronics. There is plenty of headroom, especially with the conjunction of this factory panoramic roof There's no shortage of headroom or legroom. Definitely very comfortable. And again, your rear seat passengers are definitely going to be very, very happy sitting in the back seat of your Bentayga. I love the panoramic roof with all that natural light coming in. And note there is a sunscreen that you can close off here in case you want to darken it up. Rear seat passengers is also treated to their own reading light. And door handle in case the driver gets too aggressive driving this Bentayga. Overall, very, very nice, very, very comfortable. And your Bentayga rear seat passengers are definitely going to be happy. Or if you have a driver and you are the rear seat passengers, you definitely will be happy. And if you need even additional more legroom than what's available, there is a extended wheelbase package for the Bentayga. And lastly, the rear seats do fold down very easily. Using this switch here, you give a good pop, and the rear seats do fold down to allow you to access the trunk or to extend your trunk room. And you just raise it right back up. And these are your rear seats of your Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. Let's take a look at the trunk of your Bentley Bentayga. And here it is. You have a completely powered trunk gate that you can open with your remote with that button below the Bentley sign, or from your passenger side pedal area. The Bentley's trunk is lined in this very soft touch fabric material on the bottom, on the sides, and even up top on the trunk lid. Very, very cool. The trunk features this integrated silver trimmed trunk divider that you can essentially adjust by clicking the buttons here, clicking the button here, and sliding that forward and backwards depending on your trunk storage needs. The Bentley's trunk also features a very cool function. If you need to load heavy groceries or unload heavy groceries and vice versa, you can go ahead and press this button here and raise and lower the entire rear end of your Bentley Bentayga. Let's take a look at it. So you can hold this button down here, and if you can see from here, the whole rear end lowers itself and raises itself depending on your needs. Very, very nice option. Underneath that, you have a 12-volt charger in the trunk with this area with the storage netting, offering you additional storage in the trunk. There's this nice silver trim to help protect the trunk and the rear bumper of your Bentley. And underneath here, you do have a rare full-size spare tire and a storage area to put your oil. And there's also a tire inflator kit and tool kit to put on that spare. Very, very cool. You don't usually see a full-size spare in cars nowadays, so it's nice to see that. The trunk has integrated trunk lights on the right and left. And there's also this privacy divider that covers up all your valuables when you close out that trunk, so people can't see through that rear hatch. And this piece is also removable in case you need more storage. The rear trunk features 17 cubic feet of trunk storage space that can be further expanded because the rear seats do fold down to expand upon that 17 cubic feet of space. And we're going to show you now. And here you go. There are 2 side latches on the rear seats that allow you to fold those seats down. And they do fold flat. And you can remove this, again, as privacy divider, allowing you a completely huge, unobstructed trunk space that allows you to carry very, very large objects in the trunk of your Bentayga. So again, 17 cubic feet of space without the rear seats folded down, and you essentially double up your trunk space with the rear seats folded down and the privacy divider removed. So again, great storage options in your Bentley Bentayga. And up top on your latch, again, this is a powered trunk. You can press this button here and the trunk will lower itself, so you don't need to exert yourself. There's additional small storage space here and additional trunk lights on the door. So again, this is the trunk of your Bentley Bentayga, and it is hands-free and powered. All right, everyone, welcome to the test drive of this 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. This Bentley Bentayga is powered by a 6.0 liter twin turbo V12 motor, pushing out 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque. All that power is routed to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission with manual shift, and all that power is sent to all 4 wheels via Bentley's all-wheel drive system with rear wheel bias. So to start up the car, it is a keyless ignition start. You put your foot on a brake and you press the center engine start button. Nice quiet start. The Bentley Bentayga does come with 4 different drive modes, as well as 4 additional, what I like to call essentially all-terrain modes. So the 4 main modes are a comfort, a Bentley, which is essentially normal mode, and my favorite mode of all is sport. When you put into sport mode, essentially the car becomes essentially the most track or aggressive version of the drive modes for the Bentley Bentayga. So essentially when you do that, when you put into sport mode, the suspension tightens up and the steering tightens up, and the transmission just becomes a lot more aggressive. And also the variable exhaust in the rear, you definitely hear a noticeable increase in volume, although the volume is essentially Bentley level. It's not the loudest, it's not as loud as the Urus, but again, it is louder than a normal mode, driving mode for the Bentley. So here we go. I'm just going to start in the most aggressive mode, and that is going to be the sport mode. So let's start with the acceleration. Again, this is probably one of the most powerful Bentley Bentayga motors with the twin turbo V12. I mean, having a V12 motor is already kind of crazy enough, but they stick 2 turbos to this car, and again, 600 horsepower, 664 foot-pounds of torque. I can tell you right now that initial accelerations, in most other turbo cars you can get a little bit of turbo lag, but in this car, essentially the takeoff essentially feels like you're driving an EV. Instant torque, 0 turbo lag, you don't feel anything at all, and just like gobs and gobs of just like power. The 664 foot-pounds of torque is available at a pretty low 1500 to 3000 RPM. So again, you can imagine how powerful this car is. I mean, essentially just puts you back. You can definitely feel yourself being pushed back into the seat. Pretty ridiculous. Power, 0 to 60 times for this V12 twin turbo motor comes out to 4 seconds even, and runs a quarter mile of 12 seconds. That's very, very impressive for a car that weighs essentially, I think it was like 5,300 pounds. So again, very, very heavy car, but again, that V12 motor with a twin turbo definitely carries the weight very, very well. So I definitely rate the acceleration in the V12 twin turbo motor a solid 9.5 out of 10. I had to knock off 0.5. I didn't want to give it a perfect score. Again, although there is no turbo lag, you can feel like maybe half a second of a little bit of lag when you step on the accelerator. Again, it's not noticeable to a normal driver, but for me as an enthusiast, again, there is a little half a second turbo lag when you do step on the gas, but after that, that 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque is readily available. Let's talk suspension. So the suspension on this car is I would like to think of it as a magical suspension that for some reason takes Bentley's 5,000 plus pound weight and manages it to a point where you feel like you're driving a two-door sports coupe. And I'm talking about when this car is put into sport mode with the most aggressive dampening. There is 0 body lean. So I equate that 0 body lean to 2 things. The first thing is that the air suspension has a continuous dampening that continually adjusts the dampening of all 4 wheels to again keep you stable. The second biggest contribution to the lack of body lean and just amazing just handling in this vehicle despite weighing 5,000 plus pounds is the fact that this car not only has anti-roll or slash anti-sway bars, the anti-roll and anti-sway bars are actually electronic. There's a lot of technology to it, but essentially it boils down to the anti-roll slash anti-sway bars are attached to a 48 volt motor, and that motor essentially keeps track of body lean and essentially sends an electric charge to essentially counterbalance the weight, essentially helping you defy the laws of physics, and essentially eliminates body roll in this 5,000 pound plus SUV. Right now I'm taking these curves and these turns very, very aggressively actually, and I can tell you right now that this car has 0 body lean. I've actually been driving it on the highway, I've drove it on the city streets, and now I'm driving it here in the canyons of Angeles Crest Highway, and I can tell you right now that it drives like a 2-door Porsche, especially in sport mode. Those powered anti-sway bars does a brilliant job, and again, of eliminating any sort of body lean in this car. There's like full confidence in the curves of this car, and I'm hoping I can get in front of this guy so we can show you how aggressive we can drive in this Bentley Bentayga. But again, all you really need to know about the Bentley Bentayga W12 is that there is zero body lean. It handles like it's on rails despite being 5,000 plus pounds, and I rate the suspension a solid 9.5 out of 10. Even at hard acceleration and hard braking, there's hardly any sort of squatting of the rear end or the front end. Again, just a solid suspension, amazing, magical air suspension of the 2018 Bentayga. Braking, solid braking. Straight off the bat, the front brakes are 6 piston Bentley branded front brake calipers, and those brake calipers are wrapped around 15.5 inch rotors, and the car definitely needs it given the weight. But these 6 piston brake calipers are solid. They're not too hard, not too soft. There's a nice pedal feel to it. When you, for example, me slowing down on this turn here, the brakes bite down, but they don't bite down hard enough where you're jerking forward. Again, it's just a very confident, stable, solid braking, and I give the brake system a solid 9 out of 10. I knocked off a point because, again, I've been driving for a while already in this car, probably about the past hour, hour and a half, and after an hour there is a little bit of sponginess that develops, but again, that sponginess doesn't affect my confidence in it. But again, there is a little bit of that sponginess. I want to know about the suspension. When you do put the car into sport mode, the suspension does lower a few inches, assisting in the handling also. Let's talk steering wheel. Not only steering wheel feel, but look. So let's talk about steering. The steering on this car has essentially a variable powered steering. So essentially, in lower speeds, there's more power to the steering wheel, but as you go into the higher speeds, the steering definitely tightens up, allowing you better control at higher speeds. Alternatively, you can do a custom drive mode to keep it at a tighter steering, giving you much more road feel. But when you put into comfort mode, you definitely get a very loose, very powered Bentley. So when you're feeling lazy, you can definitely drive in a more powered steering wheel mode. Although it doesn't feel as fun to drive if you are an enthusiast. For me, I think the best mode for this car is essentially sport mode. It tightens up the suspension and tightens up the steering to a point where you can definitely feel the road feel. It's not overpowering, but it definitely feels good. Gives you a lot more control. The steering is so sharp, everywhere you point it to, the car just turns and goes. I rate the steering a solid 9 out of 10. Especially love the variable part of the steering. Interior forward and rearward visibility. I love the forward visibility of this vehicle. Again, wide open, big screen, big windshield. You have a big driver's side window, but one thing I really do love about the Bentley is this little corner glass here. Most other cars usually have kind of like a black plastic piece where you can't really see through it, but because of that little, just a little piece of glass, it just allows so much visibility to the front of your car. Now I'm gonna pull over and kind of give you a rear view look, and rear view visibility on this car is excellent. I'm going to turn around to the rear. As you can see, the rear has definitely lots of rearward visibility, a big open window, and I love how the rear quarter glass also has a big opening on there, so you don't have a big black portion blocking out your rear pillar. So again, just a lot of rearward visibility with this combined with the huge side mirrors. Again, just really excellent visibility in your car. So right now I'm gonna switch over to, I am in sport mode still, but since I parked over, I'm going to switch it into manual mode. And this car does, the automatic transmission, the 8-speed automatic ZF transmission does have a option for you to shift on your own, which I'm doing right now. And the shift knob, or the shift lever, is essentially 2 paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. The 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, it is smooth. It puts the power to the ground perfectly. I love the option of either driving it in just a regular automatic mode, or if I'm feeling sporty like I am right now and I want to control the revs, I can easily put it into, again, manual mode, which I am in right now, and you could definitely rev the again, that V12 motor up to its 6,000 red line, which feels like a joy to drive, which I'm doing now. Oh yeah, just so tossable. I rate the ZF automatic transmission a solid 9 out of 10. And if you're feeling lazy again, you could just pull the transmission lever back and it'll go back into sport mode, shifting on its own. So let's talk noise, interior noise and exhaust sounds. So the interior of the Bentley, it is deathly quiet, which is beautiful. I was actually driving this morning on the highway for like 30 minutes, and it's so quiet. It just provides such a good environment. It got kind of sleepy. So again, it's expected. There's a lot of sound deadening in this car. I'm sure that a good amount of weight that contributes to the car is sound deadening in the interior. So again, the interior of this car with the windows rolled up, you hardly hear any external noise. You hardly hear any road noise. It's just, again, just very, very quiet. So again, that's what a Bentley is supposed to be. That's why people buy a Bentley, to have a luxurious, peaceful interior that blocks out all the world's annoying noises. And this car does it very well. So interior noise, 9.5 out of 10. I knocked off 0.5 because, again, I do hear a little bit of road noise, but I'm going to contribute that minor road noise to the fact that this car does have the upgraded Bentley wheels with a thinner profile, which can contribute to a little bit of road noise. But I'm sure if you win with the smaller wheel and tire package, that'll be eliminated. And let's talk exhaust noise. So this car is not an enthusiast car, I get that. And but what I like what Bentley did was they did add in this Bentayga a variable exhaust. So the variable exhaust does have a baffle that opens and closes. So in comfort mode and regular driving modes, the exhaust is very quiet, or when you're in the lower speeds or whatnot, the exhaust is closed and quiet. But when you open it up to higher speeds, the exhaust does open up fully. Or, for example, when you put it into sport mode, the baffles of the exhaust open completely, and you do hear a bunch of louder growl or grumble. It's not to a point of what you would hear in, for example, one of my first reviews was a Lamborghini Urus, and it had a variable exhaust. The Urus is built upon the same platform as this Bentayga, but again, that exhaust is, again, just pops and gurgles, whereas this car is more of a V12 growl or rumble that you hear. Definitely more aggressive than when the baffles are closed, but if you're expecting Lamborghini levels of sound, it's not. Again, it's just a more aggressive, loud growl that you can still hear from the inside of the Bentley, and just provides just like a nice rumble to your V12 vehicle. So I would rate the exhaust sound a 9 out of 10 for what it is, and I love the fact that it's variable. You can open and close up the baffles depending on your situation. Let's talk seat comfort. The seats of these cars is definitely comfortable. I think we have the 16-way adjustable Bentley Bentayga seats. Can't complain. They are cross-stitched, but they also have these side bolsters that you can adjust to every which way. They're powered, so again, if you're sliding around, you can tighten up those side bolsters. They're just comfortable. I can't complain. Seats 10 out of 10. They feel great. They're heated. They're ventilated, and again, can't really complain. I'm gonna pick it up right now, and again, I'm taking these curves, and my body is not sliding anywhere. And if they were, I still have room to adjust the side bolsters and the rear bolsters if I need to, in order to again, just hold myself in. So again, just great seats. And if they are hot, if it's hot or cold, I can definitely turn on the ventilation and heating. So the seats on this car, 9 out of 10. And right now I'm just gonna go ahead and cruise and let you enjoy this experience. And well, before we continue that, I do want to note that this car, if you see above here, this car does come with a panoramic roof, and the panoramic roof is standard with a sunroof that opens up, and it's a great option to have. It really opens up the interior, and it's a joy to drive with the open. And I'm gonna go ahead and open it up right now, so the car may get a little louder. And I hope you guys enjoy this more ASMR experience of the Bentley Bentayga W12. Gobs of power, it's just amazing. Transmission shifts so effortlessly. So this 2018 Bentley Bentayga is built on Volkswagen's MLB platform. So a little background, Volkswagen does own Bentley, Lamborghini, Porsche, and because VW owns all these manufacturers together, it's only smart for them to again share a platform that cuts costs for them and the consumers, and again allows the Volkswagen group to bring us these cool cars such as this Bentayga here. But with that platform sharing, so the MLB platform from Volkswagen, essentially that platform is used to build the Bentley Bentayga, the Audi Q7, Audi Q8, the Lamborghini Urus, and the Porsche Cayenne, amongst other Volkswagen groups cars. And because of this, some people would say like, oh hey, why buy a Bentley Bentayga when you can, for example, buy a Volkswagen Touareg or a Audi Q8 for half the price and get the same car. So just like my earlier review of the Lamborghini Urus, I disagree with that sentiment. Although they share the same platform and maybe even just maybe the same exact motor sometimes, depending on which car that you get, whether it's the Lamborghini Urus or the Bentley Bentayga, each car, although built on the same platform, offers very, very subtle different driving experiences, from not only the motor to also the interior and just the overall feel and look of the car. So if you're looking for a straight exotic car aggressiveness, and you're a person that can afford an Aventador but need at least a back seat, then the Lamborghini Urus, which is built on the MLB platform, same as this Bentayga here, is a great choice because that car is all about just going fast in a very exotic fashion. The engine is just aggressively tuned for that, but the Lamborghini Urus does lack what I call extreme luxury compared to the other cars in the MLB platform. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you are a person that likes the design style of the Bentley Bentayga, but maybe do not want to spend that much money, or just a little smarter with their money, or maybe just straight can't afford it, the Audi Q7 and Q8 is also built on the same platform with very similar motor setup. Maybe not W12, but you do get pretty powerful motors in those cars. Or even the Volkswagen Touareg. Again, those cars offer a more affordable budget option that does give luxury, maybe not to the level of a Bentley, but again, that's what that car segment is for. And if you're looking for straight performance, there is the Porsche Cayenne, which is also built with a similar MLB platform. But I feel that if you're looking for that between the aggressiveness and the driving performance of a Lamborghini Urus, but you want a little bit more luxury than what an Audi Q7 or Q8 can offer, the Bentley Bentayga is essentially your Goldilocks choice. It's the best of all worlds. It provides a lot of luxury in the interior, a lot of luxury when it comes to driving, but it also provides, again, that enthusiast or performance driving aspect, especially in this car that's equipped with that twin-turbo W12 motor that pushes out 600 horsepower and 664 foot-pounds of torque. So again, although all these cars, from the Porsche Cayenne to the Bentley Bentayga to the vwtouareg to the to the Audi Q8, Q7, they're absolutely not the same cars. They all offer a different type of driving experience. But at the end of the day, the best all-around car that is a nice medium between all those cars that share the MLB platform is found in this Bentley Bentayga, which again shares those platforms. And to demonstrate how great this SUV is, essentially it does a pretty good work in keeping up with an aggressively driving E92 BMW two-door. And here's what the car sounds like with all the windows and sunroof open and the car in sport mode. And the two biggest pros of this Bentley Bentayga comes down to what's underneath the hood and what I believe is what comes behind these 21-inch wheels. So in this day and age, in 2025, it's very hard to find any car that has, again, a V12/W12 motor with 2 turbos attached to it. The engine is just so smooth, so powerful. The Bentayga's W12 pushes out 600 horsepower with 664 foot-pounds of torque, and that 664 foot-pounds of torque is again available at a very, very low 1500 RPM. So this car is definitely a thrill to drive. The motor is just so quiet but powerful. It moves this car like a car half its weight. The second part of the pro that I love about this vehicle is essentially that, again, that adaptable air suspension. So the Bentley Bentayga's suspension is not only adaptable as you drive, but also as a reminder, this car does have those electronic powered anti-sway bars that essentially negates any and all body roll in this 5,000 pound plus SUV. As you saw from the test drive, as a reminder, the anti-sway bars on his car does have an electric motor attached to it, and essentially sends counter forces electronically with that electronic motor every time you essentially turn in your Bentley. So essentially that electronic system negates all body roll in this car. This car has 0 body roll, like no joke. No matter how hard you drive it, no matter how hard you throw it into curves, this 4-door SUV that weighs 5,000 pounds, I can tell you right now, drives like you're driving a 2-door Porsche. There is 0 body lean. It eats up these corners like nothing. I tossed this car very aggressively into a lot of different turns, both sharp and wide. And I can tell you, it's just a joy to drive, combined with that all-wheel drive system. But again, the biggest pro is, like I said, this car, despite being so big, it drives like a 2-door sports coupe. And I believe those are the 2 biggest pros of the W12 Bentley Bentayga. And it's a great idea to pick one up soon, because manufacturers are not making anything with a V12 or W12, let alone a V12 W12 with, again, that twin turbo attached to it. And that are the biggest pros of your Bentley Bentayga. So let's talk about what I consider a con/pro of the Bentley Bentayga, and we'll start with the con. So the biggest con of the Bentley Bentayga is essentially depreciation. The first con of the Bentley Bentayga comes down to one very key word, and that is the depreciation. So I'm reviewing this 2018 Bentley Bentayga right now in 2025. And in 2018, the brand new MSRP of this specific 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 in the signature trim comes out to about $235,000 before options. And nowadays in 2025, you can purchase a very lightly used 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 for right around $60,000 to $90,000, depending on mileage and condition. So again, just after a very few short years, there was a huge drop in price as far as the price compared to it brand new. So again, just a huge, very quick depreciation curve. And that is a huge con if you were a Bentley owner who bought this brand new. But on the opposite end of that, I also consider this a pro, because nowadays you can purchase this 2018 Bentley Bentayga, a decent used option with a relatively good maintenance history and relatively pretty good specs, for right around $60,000 to $80,000 to $90,000 on the used car market. Just check any sort of auction website, from Bring a Trailer to Cars and Bids, and you'll see these Bentleys selling for that used price day in and day out. One thing that contributes to this large depreciation is the fact that a lot of these Bentleys, once they're out of the factory warranty, minor repairs can cost into the 5 figures. Another factor that contributes to the rapid depreciation of the Bentley Bentayga simply comes down to numbers. Because this car was offered in so many different varieties, from extended wheelbase to normal wheelbase to 3-seat configuration to 2-seat configuration to 3-row configuration, basically Bentley produced so many Bentaygas that it flooded the market. And the fact that there's just so many of them available on the used car market also contributes to that rapid depreciation. So my best advice is that, hey, if you can afford it, go ahead and buy your Bentley brand new. But if you want to be a little more smart with your money, you can definitely pick up a lightly used Bentley Bentayga on the used market. Get a good PPI, and then if it's not under warranty, just again get a really great PPI and maybe set aside a few thousand for any sort of larger repairs. So depending on which side of the depreciation curve you sit on, this Bentley price and its depreciation can either be a con or a pro. It's up to you to how you decide which side of that curve you want to be on. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2018 Bentley Bentayga W12 Signature Edition. If you guys enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to the Gas and Gavel YouTube channel. We truly do appreciate your support, and tune in next week for more enthusiast, performance, and SUV car reviews.